Hello, Walbrook and Westbourne. In today's lesson, you are going to be writing up your story map of The Lion and the Mouse, your innovated version. In last week's English lessons, we started to look at the fable, The Lion and the Mouse. So you learnt the story off by heart, and then towards the end of the week, you created your own version of the story map by innovating your own. In today's lesson, I'm going to show you how to write this story map up so that you have your own version of the story. In today's lesson, we're going to focus on the importance of punctuation. When writing up, it's really important to remember to include all of the correct punctuation. Now, when you made your original story map, you might have noticed something that I did on the first one. Can you see this? So if you look closely there, you should be able to see that I put the punctuation into my story map before I'd even started to write it. Now that can be a really helpful technique so that when you start to write up your story map, you know that all that punctuation is going to be going into the correct place. See if you can work out which punctuation should be used in these examples. A lion lay asleep in the forest, his great head resting on his paws. Where do you think the comma is going to go in that sentence? A lion lay asleep in the forest, his great head resting on his paws. See if you got that right. A lion lay asleep in the forest, comma, his great head resting on his paws. The comma separates those two parts of the clause. A lion lay asleep in the forest is one part, comma, and then we have the new part. His great head is resting on his paws. It brings in a new idea, and that idea is separated by a comma. See if you can fix this sentence. It needs two commas, an apostrophe for possession, and a full stop. Take a few moments to see if you can put those where they need to be and have a go. When you're ready, move along and see if you got them right. So let's see how you did. A timid little mouse came upon him unexpectedly, comma, and in her fright and haste to get away, comma, ran across the lion's. Now lions has an apostrophe in it because it was the lion's nose. So that apostrophe is for possession to show that the nose belonged to the lion. Okay, so time for a little quiz now. I want you to have a go at answering these questions. So, which word completes the sentence? We our bikes. Is it we rided our bikes, we rides our bikes, we riding our bikes, or we rode our bikes? Choose one, write the word down, and then I'll move on to the next one. Okay, number 2. Think of a word to complete the sentence below using the past tense. I at the park during the holidays. Number 3. Which kind of punctuation mark would complete the sentence below? Can we go to the cinema, please? Question number 4 now. Which word would complete the sentence below? I hope, we will make cakes today. Is it I hope when, I hope if, I hope that, or I hope because? Have a think and write down your answer. lastly, number 5. Where should the comma go in the sentence below? Tick 1. My favourite, comma, colours are yellow, red and blue. Is it my favourite colours are yellow, comma, red and blue? Or is it my favourite colours are yellow, red, comma, and blue? Have a think. Is it the first one, the second one, or the third one? Write number 1, 2, or 3. And now let's mark and see how you did. So, number 1, it should be we rode our bikes. We rode our bikes. Now, one that you could have had for this is played. You might have had skipped or jumped or danced even, but usually has a past tense ed ending, so well done if you got that right. Now this one should be a she ha question mark, so well done if you got that right. I hope that we will make cakes today. I hope that we will make cakes today. Number 4, well done if you got that right. And the comma should go after the second one. So my favourite colours are yellow, comma, red and blue. So well done if you got that. If you got 5 out of 5, well done to you. Give yourself a pat on the back. So as I said, in today's lesson you're going to be writing up your story map for your innovated version of the fable, The Lion and the Mouse. So what I'd like you to do is watch really carefully as I go through my story map, and you can see how I start to write up each section at a time, really thinking about that punctuation as I'm doing that. So in today's lesson I'm going to be showing you how to write up your story map into words. So the first thing that you're going to need to do is your title, and mine is The Whale and the Bird. So I'm going to do that in the middle. So the original was a lion lay asleep in the forest, but I changed mine to a whale and he is in the ocean. So you might want to add some adjectives here to make it sound a bit more interesting. So what adjectives could be used to describe the whale first of all? So I'm going to use an enormous whale. Now, if I wasn't quite sure how to spell that, I could use my Fred talk. E-N-O-R-M-S. Enormous. And if you're still unsure, you can put a little wiggly line underneath there, and that can mean that when you've finished, you can check that back. And enormous whale. An enormous whale slept peacefully on the deep blue ocean, comma. So we're up to this part now. His great head resting on his flippers. Now yours will be different to mine, so what is yours resting on? Full stop there. So full stop now. An enormous whale slept peacefully on the deep blue ocean, his great head resting on his flippers. Now we are up to the next part. A timid little bird came upon him unexpectedly. Now your character is going to be different here. A timid little. Capital letter after my full stop. A timid stumbled. So I've changed the word stumbled instead of came upon. Stumbled upon him unexpectedly, comma. And in her fright and haste to get away, comma, ran across the whale's blowhole, but yours will be different here as well. And full stop at the end of our sentence. Now we're just going to read that back to check for any mistakes now. An enormous whale slept peacefully on the deep blue ocean. That's all good so far. Comma. His great head resting on his flippers. Okay, we've got a full stop at the end there. A timid little bird stumbled upon him unexpectedly. This is this here, and we've got our comma there, so that's all good. And in her fright and haste to get away, comma, ran across the whale's blowhole. Now, because it's the whale's blowhole, we need to just pop in an apostrophe for possession there. The whale's blowhole. So when you're writing up, if you're a little bit unsure about where any of the punctuation should go, you can have a look at the original that I did. So as you can see, I started to put my punctuation in right at the beginning, and that just helps when you're writing up to make sure that you're really thinking about where that punctuation needs to go in. So I've made a little writing checklist for you that you should see just there. Now have a look at this. If you're stuck, it will help you remind yourself of all the things that you need to include in your work. Make sure that you've got capital letters, full stop, commas, finger spaces. Make sure that your letters are the right size and that they have been written in the right shape and form as well. And always check back your work to make sure that it makes sense, because sometimes when we're focusing on writing and you're writing, it's so easy to make tiny little mistakes, maybe to miss a word out or to spell a word completely wrong that you would usually know exactly how to do. So please make sure that you're checking back your work regularly and carefully, because it will just help to make sure that it's all really, really good. Can't wait to see your stories. I was really excited by the story maps that I've seen so far. Some really interesting and exciting character changes. Some versions are definitely a lot better than the original. So well done, and I can't wait to read them.